Welcome. I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us. What an exciting day we have here today with you all to have the first woman who's African American who's joining us as the editor-in-chief of none other than the Houston Chronicle, Maria Reeve. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. We know how extraordinarily busy you are, and Houston's a city with lots of news. But for those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Houston.
Absolutely. Well, I grew up in the South. I grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, and I am one of 5 children that my parents had. My father was a teacher and then became a chemist, and my mother stayed at home and worked, raising the 5 of us. And I enjoyed reading and writing in language when I was younger, and that's how I came to find myself in the news business. At first, I thought it was magazines or even books, but I love the pace of newspapers. I love writing that first version of history. I love being on the front lines of everything that was happening in our community. So that is how I found myself in the newspaper business. And I came to Houston for opportunity. I came to join this newsroom. I knew it was a fabulous newsroom with a great reputation for investigative journalism, for covering its communities. And so I decided to take a chance and leave the Twin Cities, where I'd been for more than 20 years, and drag everybody to Texas. And I am really glad that I did.
Well, we are really glad that you did. This is an exciting city with so many wonderful, fantastic stories to tell. And we're glad that you're here. And just know that your Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is at your service for anything that we can do to help provide you with the support needed in this very large city, which in many ways is a large city, but a small town. So a hearty welcome from all. Let's talk a little bit about diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's amazing that even today in 2021, there are still so many firsts for Blacks, for women, for Hispanics, for minorities. Talk to us a little bit about what you have seen and what some of the positive steps you've seen, especially in DEI.
Absolutely. Diversity is, we have lived this for all of our careers. And I see what I think is a renewed interest in it, if you will, and renewed commitment to making sure that all voices are represented, all voices are heard. When I came to Houston, I frankly, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, had no idea about the vast diversity in this community. And I'm really looking forward to exploring all aspects of it, whether it is our Hispanic population or our Black population here. And what I've discovered about Houston is that it has a sizable Asian population and African immigrants as well. And so what we've talked about in our newsroom is, how do we make sure that we're reflecting all of that in our pages? How do we make sure that people who come to our website, call us up on their app, pick up a print copy, see themselves reflected in what we're covering of the Houston community? And again, embarrassed to admit that the 4th largest city in the country, I thought, oh, Houston's probably in the top 10. No idea, really. But after I did my homework, I am versed in, what we are charged to do in covering this community.
Well, and you'll be happy to know that as we represent 42% of the population, our website for the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce has a resource page with a lot of data, white papers, op-eds that we've published, and thankfully have been run there with you at the Houston Chronicle and other publications. And it's about the data, it's about facts, right? It's about the economic impact that our communities make every day in the billions of dollars across the country. And in here locally in Houston, over 55 billion a year from Hispanics, and that consumer market for those of your advertisers and others that they see minorities, women, and others as contributors, and also those responsible for a lot of consumer spending. Let's talk to us a little bit about your world of print media. So
Mhm,
many changes, so many things are available online, that ability to update a story.
mhm.
And you've been in this business a long time. How do you feel about all of these changes, and where is the Houston Chronicle headed?
These changes have been a long time coming. I think when you think about, I have 20 something year olds as children, they read on their phones. That is where they get news. And so in order to, serve our communities and wherever they're coming to us from, we absolutely have to accelerate our business in terms of becoming more available on digital platforms. And so we're working really hard to make sure that our transformation is happening and that it is happening quickly. We still have a sizable print uh, audience, print subscribers, but anymore, we know that people are coming to us not only on their laptops or desktops, but on their mobile devices. And so our jobs are to make sure that we are where people are, where they want to get their news. We have a digital team here, but I like to think that our entire newsroom is the digital team, not just people who are charged with our social media and making sure that we are on all these different platforms. So that transformation is happening. The people coming up and how they get information is changing, and we have to meet them where they are.
Yes. And an ever changing pace, I would imagine, in terms of the expectation, right?
No,
Of your
absolutely.
your readers, what they want, what they expect, and that face, that voice, that they are part of the news.
Mhm. And if, we know that when people see something happening, they will check and see if we have it. And so we have to be nimble, we have to be efficient and quick, but we have to be right before we post news to our websites where people will consume that and trust that it is as accurate and true as we can make it. And so, all of our reporters here are well versed on the significance of speed, but more so than that, accuracy.
Yes. Well, on that note, a hearty welcome again from the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We are at your service. And as a lifelong Houstonian, just very happy to see you at the helm. And we've had a long-standing partnership with the Houston Chronicle. And we are glad to meet you and to have you on our television and radio programs. And we are on standby anytime you'd like to join us. So we'll see you soon and hopefully at our big annual luncheon on Friday, October the 8th. Thank you very much, Maria.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.